This is a Hardanger fiddle, or a traditional Norwegian violin. And as you can see, it's very similar to a typical violin that would be used to sing, but there's a few differences that make it distinct to Norway. One of the biggest differences that you'll notice first thing is the number of pegs. This violin has 9 strings instead of just the original 4. You play on only 4, just like in a normal violin, but there's 5 sympathetic strings that rest underneath the original strings that are meant to just resonate with the sound. And so when they're tuned perfectly, you can hear them. So if you look closely, you can see the chorded D string, these strings, and then underneath there's those sympathetic strings. And these strings, this violin just resonates a lot more than a normal violin. You can kind of hear it. It'll just ring for a really long time. And so that's something that makes the instrument pretty unique. Something else that's different is the neck of the instrument is shorter than on a normal violin. And so because of this, you never really shift like you would playing a normal violin, you just stay in the one position. So there's never usually a chin rest because you don't really need the extra support because your hand just stays in this one position the whole time. Something else that's unique is the bridge of the instrument. And different from a violin, the bridge is a little bit flatter than the one on a normal violin, and so the strings are closer together. And so you typically play more than one string at a time. It's rare on the Hardanger fiddle that you ever play one string just by itself. And so when you play both strings, it creates sort of a drone sound. And so mixed with these 4 strings mixed with the 5 understrings make this really resonating drone sound that sounds really unique. Something else that makes the instrument distinct is obviously just the look of the instrument. All of the tail pieces are carved with either the shape of a maiden or a dragon or a lion. And then the instruments are typically decorated with this bone and ivory inlay on the neck of the instrument, also in the peg box, and then all around the instrument and on the back as well. And then they hand paint these rosing designs on the instrument as well, and so it makes it have a very unique look. And these instruments are typically handmade in Norway, and it's a craft to make them over there. It's as it's like their national instrument, but there is a few makers in the United States as well that have learned the craft and try and keep the tradition alive. But today I'm going to play a song on the Hardanger fiddle, and the song is called Fanitullen. It's a traditional Norwegian piece, and it's played with the trollstemt tuning, or troll tuning. And another unique thing about this instrument is that it has more than 100 tunings, and it makes the instrument really difficult to learn to play because you play by listening and improvising, not necessarily by reading written music. And there's not really a lot of written music for this instrument out there. You just listen and then you repeat what you hear. And so this is one of the more traditional tunings. About 30 of the tunings are used regularly, but there's a lot of them that exist. You can really tune it however you want. There is a joke that people spend more time tuning the instrument than they do playing, and that is true because of all the pegs that you have to tune. Every time you tune the instrument, you don't just tune the top 4 strings, but the 5 understrings as well. But today I'm going to play this song, Fanitullen, and you can kind of hear the resonation sound.